We've been graced by Paulina, and now we're going to be graced by another beautiful woman who is our honoree today, as we're going to present the Woman of Purpose Award. So to tell you a little bit about the award was first imagined by Cheryl, Benton, and I last year when we were discussing how we would honor the 90th birthday of Alice Marsh, who many of you know as the inventor of the attention factor. So today marks another opportunity to recognize another inspirational role model. Those who are not defined by age or labels, those who are all about living life to the fullest at any age, and those who project that inner and outer glow that comes from living a fully integrated life of purpose, service, and humanity. So today we're presenting this award to Tony Award-winning Broadway producer and our dear friend, Pat Addiss. So Pat, we're going to embarrass you a little bit, and I'm going to just read a short quote that was written by another, but I think it describes you beautifully. A good life is not a sprint. It's an exerting marathon of purpose, passion, patience, and perseverance. It is where faith and hard work meet. It is an adventure between success and failure. It is knowing your lane, staying in that lane, and running your own race. And most of all, it is where truth is your belt and integrity your shade. So that pretty much describes our dear Pat.
So I want to tell you all a little bit more about Pat. First of all, I'm going to tell you how Pat and I met. I mean, we all meet a lot of people, but it's actually rare when you remember where and how you met that person. But I remember exactly where and how I met you, Pat. It was at the National Arts Club. Pat had, I think, just produced her first Broadway play. I think it was Little Women. And you were one of the speakers at an event there. And I was so taken with her. And I did something that I normally do not do. Believe it or not, I'm an introvert. I know people don't believe that. But I usually don't just go up to people. And I went up to her and I introduced myself. And we had this little chat. And she said, well, what do you do? And I told her a little bit. And she said, let's have lunch. And 2 days later, she invited me to the Players Club. And I told her, I was just starting the Three Tomatoes then, and she was just starting her Broadway producing career. So then she told me her story, and it wasn't like you were 30 years old when we met. I wish I could say we were both 30 years old then. And Pat had owned this very successful sales promotion company for many years. She decided she wanted to follow her lifelong dream of being a Broadway producer. She turned the company over to her daughter and decided to become a producer. And I still remember, I said, well, how are you able to do that? And she said, well, I went to producer school, of course. I had no idea such a thing existed. So let me tell you a little more about this amazing woman. And I just have to say, since then, we have both come a long way, baby, since that first lunch, right? So Pat Flicker Addiss is a native New Yorker. She was a child model and actress. She went to Finch College, where she majored and graduated with honors in costume design and merchandising. She married, I love her bio, it's so interesting. She married the love of her life and hoped to have 6 children. 5 of her own and 1 adopted. However, it was not the dream of her husband, who really did not like children or the confines of married life. So 10 years and 3 children later, they separated. He also became a deadbeat ex, and she was forced to make a living for herself and her children. After great despair and low self-image, she started her own company, which we just talked about, which had an impressive array of clients. She managed to send all 3 of her children to private schools. They're all very successful human beings. She catered to her passion of traveling. She's traveled the world. She's been to over 54 countries. And as I said, when most people retired, that was when she decided she was going to become a Broadway producer. And as I said, her first show was Little Women, starring Sutton Foster. She has now produced 13 shows. She's gotten a Tony Award. And this fall, this is so exciting, this fall she's producing Barry Manilow's show Harmony that's coming to Broadway. So this lady does not stop. And she's just amazing. With her colleague, Magda, who's also here, she's connected women through her Yaya lunches, dinners, and now upscale teas. She loves to talk to women over 50 about how to reinvent yourself. And what I really admire about Pat, as do so many of your legions of fans, is not only are you this successful, accomplished woman, but how you reach out and help other women. She has mentored so many women and encouraged them to also become Broadway producers. I know some of them are here today. And to go into Broadway and just to encourage us all. I get lovely little emails from her randomly, which is great. So what I want to do, Pat, and I don't know if you can turn your chair around, but we have a little video from some of your many admirers. We couldn't get them all on here.
Pat Addiss is one of my closest friends. So much influence on my life, I don't even know where to begin. She changed my life, basically.
She's one of those rare people, not only does she give advice, but she opens the door to help you carry out her advice. She is an outstanding producer, friend, mentor.
Pat Addiss is one of the most dynamic, caring, giving people I have ever had the pleasure to know. She was one of the first producers I met when I made a career change into the theater world, and she became my mentor and is still my dear friend and my cheerleader. She's truly an amazing person, and I love you lots, Pat Addiss. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Pat, on your well-deserved Woman of Purpose Award. You deserve every ounce of accolades one could ever receive. You are definitely a woman of purpose, on a mission. Congratulations.
Congratulations, longtime friend Pat Addiss, on the Three Tomatoes Woman of Purpose Award. Can't think of anybody else who deserves it more than you.
Hi, Pat. Congratulations. I can't think of anyone more inspiring or deserving to receive this award.
Pat, 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 Pat. Brava. Congrats. Well done. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you for getting this gorgeous Lifetime Achievement Award from the Three Tomatoes, who we all adore. You are a mentor, a dear, dear, loyal friend, and an inspiration. Thank you for all you've done, and you've done so much for me. I love you. Mwah, Meryl.
You'll enjoy it. Well, it's supposed to be a tomato, but but it really is an apple. But so, Pat, I'm going to hand you the mic, and I'll take that from you.
Oh, I don't get to keep it?
No, it has to come back for next year's winner. No, I'll hold it for you.
Hi. I guess you all know who I am. But my speech and what I wanted to say has drastically changed because 3 weeks ago I almost died. And I didn't have an out-of-body experience, but I couldn't breathe. And I have to tell you that if you have to go to NYU Langone's emergency ward. They are the best with the best nurses, and they even serve gourmet food. But so my feeling of what I feel now is a lot different than it was a couple of weeks ago, because I'm now thrilled that I'm still alive and that I'm even here. As Jack Benny used to say, oh, it's so good to be here, it's so good to be anywhere. It's good to be anywhere right now. And I just want you to know how grateful I am for having this award. And yes, it is very important that we mentor young girls and help other women. It's so important to help other women. A lot of women get frozen at the age of 50, and particularly with COVID, they lock down and they can't this and they can't that. And we have to remember we're here just once, and it's up to us to live just once. I don't care what you believe in the afterlife. Right now, we're here, and it's very important that you own your own body. I don't care who you wake up with in the morning. You've got to wake up with yourself. And if you can't wake up with yourself, then you have a problem. And it's time at 50 to throw everything on the window and be whatever you want to be. Don't worry about what people will say about you, because it doesn't matter. They don't wake up with you anyway, and they couldn't care less. People love to give advice. I'm giving you advice. But it's important that you live your own life on your own terms. And I believe that more than ever. And I was thinking when I was winning this Purpose Award, what purpose? What goals? What is my purpose? And then I realized what my purpose is. My purpose is to inspire other women, to inspire you to greatness, inspire you to do things. Even if you like bungee jumping, go bungee jump. Don't have somebody say, oh, you're too old to do that. Do it. Do whatever you want to do. If you want to have a new career, go back to school. You're not too old to go back to school. They have lots of courses, and I just read where somebody just graduated Harvard at 90 years old. So, I mean, you know, you can go back to school, and there are lots of careers that you never even thought of, like being a doula. If you like dogs, you can be a dog walker if you need to make money. They make outrageous amounts of money as a dog walker. But then you can have dogs, you can shelter dogs. There's no end to what you could do. I know somebody who babysits birds. Seriously, out in Maryland. She has 2 birds, and she has a babysitter whenever she leaves. So there's no end to what your career could be. Just find out. And if you don't like one thing, change. You don't have to listen to what anybody tells you. You can't do it. You can do it, and you will do it if you want to do it. Don't let anybody stop you. And I really feel very strongly about this because I almost died. And here I am talking to you. I'm just lucky to talk, as I say, anywhere. But I just want to inspire you, and that is my mission in life, is to inspire other women and to be mentoring young people coming up, and also old people coming up.
Well, Pat Addiss,
Well, I'm
you
not
are
finished.
up.
I'm
You're not
not
finished?
finished
Oh,
yet.
go ahead.
I want to leave you with one word. I want you all to do something so audacious, so out of the box, that you get banned in Florida.